Good morning. So how do you maintain weight loss? That's something I'm going to be talking about today. If you're coming in, give me a hello. If you're on replay, drop a replay below. Let me know how you're doing, how your week's going. It is Wednesday. So how do you maintain weight loss? Real good question, because when someone starts, often they say, I want something that's sustainable. I want to lose weight and I want something I can keep off. But there's two ways this can go. There can be the weight loss is too slow. And then it could be that I'm doing something, I'm losing the weight, but I'm unsure whether I can keep this going. So we always have these fears of the future, right? And I often remind people that if you're doing it now, that's all that really matters. If you're doing it now, that's all that really matters. The important thing is that you're checking in. That's where that accountability comes in, and that you're reaching out to us so that you're not just like, oh, right, I can't now do it. Because the issue becomes when it just is a shock. I'm not doing it anymore. I've started, I've failed, I'm screwed, I'm done. Because we've got to know that, hey Lisa, how are we doing? We've got to remember here that when it comes to weight loss maintenance, often you'll hear like diets fail, they don't work, or healthy lifestyle plans don't work, they just fail. It actually depends how you look at it, because losing 5% and maintaining this of your body weight, so 5% of your body weight, is significant. It's shown to be significant in terms of reducing our risk of diabetes, cardiovascular disease, not to mention improving our energy, sleep, mental health as well. Not that it should be all about the weight, and you don't need to make it all about the weight to actually get those benefits, because actually just doing the things that you would probably imagine would lead to that long-term over time without getting obsessed about that side of things, which is another thing and a very individual thing altogether. If you're consistent enough, that will go in the right direction no matter how small. Even if it's body fat percentage loss that you haven't quite seen on the scale, which can be frustrating. Now, so I just wanted to touch on that before, because, there's some studies that show that, some people put back on 75%. There was 75% weight regain at 5 years on a lot of these diets that they were researching. And you can look at that and go, wow, 75% weight regain, that's still 25% loss, which is still very significant in terms of someone's health, well-being, mobility, perhaps the impact that could have on their joints, their mental health, given the research that we know. Given that by doing that, they might have started other good habits like exercising more, which we know might prevent muscle loss with age, which might increase their independence. So we can look at that figure and go, oh, that's not good. But actually, 25% is still 25%, not to mention the habits that be stacked alongside a weight loss journey, stereotypically, like exercise, like I said. What if that person, maybe they put some weight back on, but what if they're fitter? What if they're stronger? What if they got more muscle? What if they're going to be more independent as they age now? What if they potentially delay certain conditions coming their way? Like, it sounds really small, but the quality of life can improve as well. And we often don't see this because we're experiencing it. We're going through it. We're so fit now. We're so much stronger. But that scale is not moving. So we're like, that scale is not moving. So we're just focused on all the things we're not doing right now, and that's not working. And actually, in the meantime, all these wins are happening. Now, tangent. Let's go on to weight loss maintenance. So this conversation came from last week. So one of the ladies, she's coming up to losing about a stone, which is real significant because her weight wasn't moving for a long period of time. And now we've kind of found a bit of a plan, and she's been consistent and it's coming up. But she's just asked you, how do I then maintain this? And we've gone through a few scenarios. I want to give you a few scenarios that we talked through. So she has, say, a healthy eating day. She doesn't really track calories, so to speak, but she has a healthy eating day. And I know that sounds a bit, what is that? Because healthy means anything to anyone. But because she's aware of her foods, like writing it down, I can roughly see where her calories are at as well. Now, she knows if she eats this kind of day with these kind of foods, like give or take, 6 days a week, maybe with one day where there's like a bit of a takeaway or something like that, she knows that she'll lose, say, £1 a week with that. So she knows she'll lose £1 a week with that, if give or take. Now, what she can do there is, if she wants to look at weight loss maintenance, is go, okay, what if I increase this portion? What if I add a portion of protein into this meal, or half a portion of protein in that meal? So I'm increasing my calories without counting them. I'm increasing how much I eat, but I want to see if I'm still losing or am I maintaining. So this is a way that slowly increases then her food intake, while seeing then what's my maintenance, what's my true maintenance, and we're starting to gradually increase it. So, and this is a good way of doing it if you are a bit wary of all of a sudden going back to our old way and just putting on a few pounds again straight away. And you might find that you can actually take it in and you actually go, oh, I've increased that. My energy levels are a bit better. I'm eating a bit more as well. And I'm still losing. Or because, and this is because sometimes we increase food. We do this week on week. So it might be like, let's have a look. Where was your measurements at? How was it going? How are you feeling? Let's increase again. And we just gradually do this until we're building it up, until maybe we find that maintenance. Maybe we look at adding a portion of carbohydrates back in, more for that energy levels. But sometimes people find that actually there's lots of variables here and people don't understand that sometimes they're like, oh, I'm actually losing still. And sometimes that can be this just for the sake of we're having a bit of a refeed, a diet break, or maybe because we're eating more, we're subconsciously moving more. Because our body's like that, it loves homeostasis, so maybe we're training a bit harder now. So all these things come into it. Now you can do this exact same thing, a bit more kind of 5-2-y kind of thing, where maybe they have those healthy eating days. And now at the moment they know if they have them about 6 days a week and then one day where they have their like takeaway, Friday night, whatever, drink, and they know that on average they'll lose £1 a week if they're there. Maybe they try having 2 days, not like 2 days takeaway and stuff like that, adding that in necessarily, but another day where they're a bit increasing it a bit. So now they're making their own like 5-2. They know 5 days like this, 2 days like that. Maybe it's 3 days like this, 4 days like that. And they start to get that balance right between when they know how much they can push it a bit, and we can work around those social events in on there as well. So then we're starting to make it a bit more of a lifestyle, and it's a bit like if you look at a week and a weekend, although it might be perceived negative that, oh, I just mess up at the weekends. It might just be that we need to focus on what we can control more, because if you're not willing to change your weekends, like in this situation, then that's fine. Then what can we change a bit in the week, or what choices can we make at the weekends where you're not missing out, but you're controlling what you can. But for example, you might have a real social occasion at the weekend, but that might be evening meals, but what can you do breakfast, lunch? There's still a lot you can do within there as well. Now finally, you can do this with the calorie side of it as well. So you can just bump it up like 100 calories a week or so, and just see how your body responds to that. Obviously, we would go into this in a bit more detail, and it would be a bit kind of, let's see how this goes day by day. But I wanted to share that today just because, if someone asks it, I always think that someone else will be interested in this. But going back to my point about what is weight loss maintenance, what is a successful thing? Like sometimes we beat ourselves up for putting a pound back on or something. Oh, I'm putting it all back on. But actually, when you look at the research, it's very normal for it to go up and down like this. And actually, like I said, about 75% weight regain over 5 years might sound really bad, but actually that's still significant. And all the habits that we stack on around that, maybe around comfort eating, maybe around being more in control of food, our exercise, our sleep, mental health, all of these things as well. Social life around exercise. Like, one of the ladies said the other day, like her live stream, because her exercise has become, the community has become a lot about her social life. So I hope that helps. Any questions on that, do let me know. If you want more information about our Kickstart program, Chippenham, which is just opened this week, grand opening next week, but we have opened it this week. Keep it quiet. Marlborough devices, then comment below, and I will see you soon. Any questions on that?